Hi, I'm Jennifer Janish, owner of Adored Salon and Adored Signature Hand-Tied Hair Extensions. I'm obsessed with curly hair. I cut it, style it, and extend it, and this podcast is all about my curly girl obsessions that stretch far beyond just curly hair.
Hey there, it's me, Jennifer, from the Curly Girls Obsessions, which you are listening to right now. And Jennifer behind the chair, Jennifer Adored Salon owner, Jennifer Adored Signature Hand-Tied Hair Extension brand founder, creator, and Jennifer the educator with my team who helps with all of that stuff. And they are today going to be installing my top row of hair extensions while we do this podcast. So today, Chloe had this great idea, and if you notice, we are all in the same clothes because we just recorded another podcast that you may have watched before. So today, Chloe had this great idea for the podcast. Chloe, why don't you, while my eyes still readjust after staring at that light, tell us about the idea.
So I was thinking, Jennifer was like, does anyone have anything we could talk about for another podcast idea? And I was like, well, since we have a lot of stuff coming up with the curl tour and everything, we have another class coming up. I was like, I don't think a lot of hairstylists realize how much of a lack there is in the beauty industry of curl specialists, whether that be extension curly specialists or overall just people who can cut and style and color curly hair. And I think we are a really great example of how far individuals with curly hair will go travel to get a good haircut, get good color, get quality extensions that match. And I would say we see a lot of that. I mean, probably a minimum of once a month. We have a client who's driving 2+ hours to see us. We have a client currently who charters in to see us.
Charters a plane.
Yes, charters a plane. Yes, to come in to see us. And then, like, I've had women fly in from Georgia. You have someone from Canada. We've had people from Hawaii. Texas. So I think a lot of people are overwhelmed by the thought of curly hair and how overwhelming it can be, or that it's hard to work with, which I think is just a poor stigma that others have created.
Well, and I think, too, right now, or at least for some time, there was this massive influx of curly hair specialists. And people claiming to be curly hair specialists, or, you know, going into that avenue because they had curly hair all their life, right?
Yes.
So they thought that they knew how to do curly hair because of that reason, which, yes, most likely they probably did understand a lot about curly hair.
In that sense, like, I hear that all the time. Like, oh, well, my stylist wasn't necessarily a curl specialist. She just had curly hair, which I think is fabulous that people are even comfortable to, like, take on a client because they're comfortable having it themselves. But I think the difference is between that and then us is curly hair is such a, like, a broad term. Like, you have curly hair, Jackie has curly hair, and Celia has curly hair. But none of you have the same texture whatsoever. Jackie's is the loosest, yours is a lot coarser, and Celia's is very kinky and tight and coily. So, but you all have curly hair. But if you didn't have all the training you had, would you be as comfortable taking Celia? Or would you be more comfortable taking people like you and Jackie?
Let me just preface this by curly hair special. I would have never had Celia as a client before. No. There would have been such a lack of trust, and it just would have never ever happened before. And then I'll never forget when I did go to training, the salon that I worked at, they were like, you better make sure in that training that you get ethnic hair because it will start coming in the door. And the first person that had gone to the training in that salon before me did not do super kinky texture hair while she was at WeDot. And it was kind of a bit of a struggle because she didn't learn. So when I was there, that was the first client that I took, and I just about died because do you guys remember my experience?
Yes.
Like, I thought this girl, her hair looked like it was going to be 1.5 inches to 2 inches all over. I was like, okay, this is going to be so easy. I'm just going to knock this part out of the park, get it over with. And then I looked at her hair and it looked like a sponge. It was all matted and tightly coiled with holes in it, right? And after 2 hours of combing it out with another girl who understood, I thought I was going to die. I'm like, what did I sign up for? I'm not doing
like, is this even worth
I
it?
cannot.
Like, yeah.
Right? Like, her hair was halfway down her back into her shoulders in the front.
Yeah.
Coiled up and matted that deep, right? So then I really was like, what am I getting into? And that really was the best learning experience I ever had. As scared shitless as I was in that very moment, I was like, okay, now if I can conquer this, I can conquer anything.
And let me ask you this. How grateful was that client?
Oh,
Yes. Insane.
So my training was in New York City. She had come from the South. I want to say she was from Alabama. Only and ever did her mom do her hair.
Yeah.
And the doing of her hair was basically washing it and combing it through and putting it just in a protective style of soft braids. So when I was finished, her hair resembled what like my hair would look like, because I also learned the 2-strand twist from her, and how to take that kinky hair and actually turn it into a totally different pattern. And she had length. Never before had she had length. And it was, so she was out of her mind hysterical. As I was to just be done with it.
You're like,
because
we're both losing our minds.
Right. I have been with you forever today.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was definitely one of the hardest things that I ever experienced. But after coming back from that class, when being a curl specialist was rather new, was just the experience of the doors that it opened. Now I could confidently service all these different textures of hair, and all of a sudden I elevated my earning potential to something that I never even dreamed possible as a hairstylist. That was the start before extensions, because it literally doubled my per hourly rate, if not 2.5 times did at that time.
Even like besides like that, like financial gain, that aspect, like you have clients that, yes, they could be anxious to come see you, but they are the most grateful clients you will ever have.
Loyal.
They will love you. They are loyal. Like, yes, like people who we do highlights on and just touch-ups and colors, yes, they're like, oh, it looks great, but nothing hits like a brand new curly treatment, even like the curl experience, and they leave and they're like, I have never seen my hair look like this.
Right.
Or like, you are the only person who has ever like taken the time to explain my hair. And even like if you were someone who was interested in working with curly hair, like just knowing how to style it puts you 10 steps above the average cookie cutter stylist.
100. Do you know, as a curly girl myself, and I know you guys know this because you have heard it in here, but when I was young, I would have never left a salon with my hairstyle. 1, because they didn't know how to do it. 2, because I was petrified of the result that was going to happen. And just so many people with curly hair never leave a hair salon with dry hair. And I really think that that's what takes our experience and sets it apart. Not because they're leaving with dry hair, because we're seeing that all over social media, because we're actually teaching them how to style their hair. We're not laying them, our shampoo bowls are over there, that's why I'm pointing. We're not laying them back in the shampoo bowl, putting in the hair product, and styling their hair.
And making them walk back like this.
Right.
Yeah,
They're not witnessing what you're doing, so they can't replicate the entire product at home. So important, right? I mean, would you guys all agree on that one?
100%.
I feel like that is a really big thing that if I'm gonna toot our own horn, sets us apart.
Yeah.
In that fashion is that everything that we do in the curly experience or a curly haircut and style is easily replicated with directions,
100%.
right? Like it's 100% crazy. And I think that that's what also gets us clients who fly in from all over.
Yes, 100%. Because I hear all the time, like, oh, like, maybe they would diffuse my hair, or I liked the haircut, but I'm still struggling at home. I am still struggling with my scalp. I'm still struggling with the proper products or what my hair needs. And we do a really nice job of breaking that down, in my opinion. We do a very nice job of making recommendations. We have that curl prescription card. No new client leaves without a styling guide, so they know how to recreate it at home. And I think that really is kind of the difference. And even just doing that, if you are someone who's interested in like going into curls, like I said, having that base styling knowledge puts you 10 steps above the average stylist, and you can just go up from there. Because the minute you pull out a diffuser, they will be shocked, because 9 out of 10 times, they're, like Jen said, they're either leaving soaking wet or they're trying to get a blowout. And we all know that that's going to last 2 minutes, and you're going to have to go home, restyle it, because your hair never looks like this. So you actually don't know what your color or cut looks like until you go back home and do it yourself, which one is not fair, because beauty services are an investment and they're a lot of money, so it's not fair to you to not know what you're getting right off the bat. And it's also just not fair that people are not as educated and comfortable with working on that kind of a hair. So, and that's why it makes people so grateful and seek us out from all over.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have to do your consultation?
Yeah, I do.
Is it color?
It is color.
Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to say before you part ways with us?
I would just say, if you are considering doing any curl education, the curl tour, anything like that, do it. It is a lot more intense than it looks. I would say it's definitely muscle memory, and the more you do it, like obviously like anything, the better you get at it. And it opens a door for opportunities you would be so shocked you will get to have, because people are really flying all over the place to get good curly hair services that are quality, that their stylist understands their hair. So
and when it comes to the curly hair extensions, it's even like it takes your curly hair expertise up a whole nother level of learning, and pretty much 5xing your average ticket. Like that's a definite for sure when it comes to the hair extensions.
And it just opens up a door for new clients for extensions, because even if you're doing extensions already, but it's only people like me who have straighter hair, now you can take 3 times more people, because just our hair alone has 3 textures. So you could have subtle body clients, beach wave clients, curly clients. You could do curly cut clients, and that is already more expensive than the average haircut. We obviously, it's a little bit more to get a curly style here as opposed to a blowout. So just having that knowledge is going to be so financially powerful for you, and it's 100% worth it. Because I always say, like, when I did my first Reiki shake, I was like, this is all we gotta do? I'm like, I could do this. So I think you will all be pleasantly surprised once you try it for the first time, that it looks scarier than it actually is, because I did not come from a curly hair background. And
I think that that's also like the other part of the curl tour. Everything has a system and a process, like you just said, like this is all that it is. Well, and it seemed like this is all that it is because it was so easily broken down and repeatable. Like that's what I think sets us apart with our education. It's not like, oh well, this, but possibly that, and possibly no. It's real straightforward. Like if this is the way the hair is, then these are your options.
Yes, and this is what you
And
have
this is
to do.
yeah, and this is what will work. And then when it comes to that styling, it's broken down to, okay, you have option 1, 2, 3, or 4 as the foundation product wise, and then this is going to be your technique and system throughout the styling process, and it will turn out exactly as such because we've done it 10,000 times over.
Yeah.
And you've mastered it to be able to train it and repeat it on rinse and repeat and make it easier for the person to take it in.
But yeah, with that, I'm gonna do my client.
All right, have
We'll
fun.
see you guys next time.
All right, Chloe or Celia and Jackie, you guys got to start talking. As far as the extensions go with curly hair clients, when someone comes in for curly extensions for you, how do they explain how they found you?
I feel like most of the time it's through some sort of social media, most of the time, or Google. Google's a big one.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a very I used to, not as much anymore, but I always used to wear like these monster curly wigs. So I always have
That's the thing
clients.
to know too about we talked about Celia's hair being kinky, and you're looking at her
You're
like,
my hair's never the same. It changes every 7 days.
it's under there.
Yep,
It's under there. And
under
sometimes it's out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wear it out and it's super cute. But Celia does have a wig for every mood that she would wake up in every day.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, yeah, you would have the monster curly wigs to her.
And my clients would
Behind.
pretty much usually tell me that this is what I want.
Oh, yeah,
Give or take,
10,000 wigs.
that is what I want. And I think that's why in the beginning when I first started having like my own clients and not just like clients that Jen had when she
Like you were learning.
helping. Yeah, like I used to be the helper. I didn't have my own like clientele obviously for extension when I first started. When I started building my own clientele, they were all 3 rows.
You guys got to cut those strings off of there.
Huh?
The ends, is there string? Oh, no. Okay,
No.
I was looking at something else. Yeah, all your clients were 3. You have I will say though, a lot of curly clients are 3 rows
Yeah.
because of the separation and definition in the styling technique.
Well, if they want any sort of length.
Yeah.
I
They
feel
all
like
have
to be.
the most amount of hair.
Yeah.
Typically, like I would say 14 wefts is my
Yeah.
standard install. But that's just because they want
14 wefts, each weft, just for clarification for other hair stylists or extension artists, 25 grams a weft in weight. So you're talking 14 is 4 wefts is 100. 300 is 350 grams of hair. That's a lot considering most average installs are 6 wefts at 25 grams, like 150 to, right? 6
Yeah.
wefts, 150 to, if you're doing 8, 200 grams of hair. So you can see why 3 rows it's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
A lot of hair. It's a lot of work, but it also commands the price tag of a lot of work too. Most 3-row installs are around $3,500 or more. The install, the hair, the cut to blend and the styling, all the coloring and stuff usually is more. So yeah, it should be a lot of work. It's definitely not like something that's just thrown together easily, right? Jackie, how about you?
I think a lot of it is Google and then like the same. Google and social media. Our reviews say it all. I think that's where Google is a big seller. People talk about the curly hair and they post pictures of it, and then it usually brings them to our website and our social media is linked there.
feel like that's where most of it comes in. And then there's also word of mouth too, locally. Like if you're a curly girl and you get your hair done and you love it, you're gonna go rave about it to every other curly hair person because it's so far and few between. And if it's like somebody who's local, they're like, oh my God, great, I don't have to go drive 2 hours to go get my hair done. I'm there. But we just did have a scenario too that was not local, right?
Yeah, no.
Friends will bring their friends and make a weekend out of it. Poor Chloe misjudged her day off for Lollapalooza, booked herself, and then tried to rearrange, and the client was totally not having it because they were coming from 3 hours away with their friend, right? And so Chloe had to delay her little Lollapalooza fun because she had to deliver on that one.
And it was worth it. I couldn't have, sorry, Jake, I couldn't have survived all that time. I couldn't have survived.
You would have been fine, right? You had to at least help pay for that ticket too,
it was
right?
a blessing in disguise.
It was a blessing. Chloe couldn't have survived for 12 hours at Lollapalooza, and the client was like, hell no, I have plans to come in, you're coming in, and I've waited so long for this appointment with you. So yeah, that's definitely also an interesting one too. What else could we talk about when it comes to the clients and the stretch for finding a curly? What's the number one thing that people say to you when they come in as a client, a first time client? I feel like it's nobody understands my hair.
I think it's nobody understands my hair, or I haven't had a haircut in like 7 years because it's been bad every single time, so I just don't do it anymore.
There's such a lack of trust in the curly hair community with the clients because they have been burned so many times. I know I look like a freak show right now, but we are going to post at the end of this video a picture of my hair done. And you will see, this is just trusting the process to get to the end result here.
I feel like we get a lot of people too who feel like, I haven't had my hair cut in like multiple years because of the same situation, like not knowing where to go, not trusting anybody, always getting a bad haircut every time they do.
Telling us they put their hair in a ponytail and cut their ends. Yeah, that's been their haircut for 7 years. And actually, like, we're laughing about it, but it's actually is true. We've had clients come in on anti-anxiety medicine, shaking and crying as they're walking in the front door because they're petrified. And that's like, it's almost crazy because you think like, okay, yeah, girls with straight hair have had their hair jacked up. So why would it be so different for a curly girl? Because it takes a curly girl 10 times longer to grow out a really bad haircut. So that's where the lack of trust and the chaos begins. And when we talk about understanding curly hair with hair extensions and how much that could change your career as a hairstylist, we're already talking about the trust level involved for a curly haired client to come into the salon. They're scared out of their mind. Now let's take it up another level. The reason that a curly girl would want extensions is because probably something is going on systematically that's causing their hair to thin. They've always had thick hair. They don't understand why this is happening. They're upset about it, and now they're needing something to replace this void, right? So they're coming in already on high alert. It's not very often that a curly girl comes in and just wants added length. A curly girl that has naturally thick hair usually can grow their hair pretty long. So it's usually someone with something compromised who's already stressed. So then when they come in for the extensions and the extensions fix all their problems, and that might sound a little bit dramatic, but wouldn't you say that if someone's having issues with their hair, it's all encompassing the fact that there is an issue, and they are staring at it every day and they are stressed by it, then in turn is making you like the person who's totally rocked their world. Talk about a loyal client.
And I feel like it's hard too now, even with like social media, that you see all these people. I am part of the problem. You see all these people with wigs, and then you're like, oh, I like wish my hair looked like that. And then it's like, well, no. Very few people's hair actually looks like that. But
well, and I think it's hair extensions too, because just in general, when you see someone with really good hair these days, odds are it's hair extensions. Mm-hmm. Let's face it, like how much, I would say, like if we could do the percentage of people that are on weight loss medication these days that's causing their hair to thin and fall out, or antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, all of these things have a negative effect on their hair. If we group all of those medications together, we're probably speaking to 80% of the population that needs some form of hair replacement system. Mm-hmm. And if their hair is falling out, it's creating more stress and it's creating more of the problem. Hence why when you install hair extensions and they matches their natural texture, as the hairstylist, you are really transforming lives. You're transforming their future because they feel more confident.
Mm-hmm. Plus, I feel like also at the same time, like, it's such like a personal experience where just because like even people that do have like a ton of hair, curly hair is so, on some people, just so thick and out of control that that's not even necessarily what they want either. So I feel like it's definitely like a personal experience. Like someone could look at someone with curly hair and to them it's like, oh, it's big and flows and all that, but it's like, okay, but
yeah, sometimes that's like the worst.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
To them, it's thin now.
Yeah.
Like, that's thin to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it definitely varies person to person.
Yeah, because most did start out with really crazy thick hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the environment and everything else. It is crazy, all the things that are going on out of people's control that cause systemic problems and then create the need for hair extensions. And when 80, what is the statistic that I say? 87% of the world has some form of wave to kink in their hair. So just understanding straight hair extensions really isn't getting you ahead. You're only catering to the minority at 13% that have straight, actually stick straight hair. So understanding texture helps create, you know, a wider range of a client base for you as a hairstylist. The other thing too with the curly hair class, I know we're jumping around a lot. We're talking about the Adored Salon being a curly hair specialist salon. We're talking about the curl tour, the hair extensions. This is just how our brain thinks around here. Like, we just talk about all these different things all day long. When you're in the curl tour and you take that class for the curly hair extensions, you also learn how to style natural curly hair without hair extensions. Like, it coincides together. We teach you those things. So then you also open up the door for a whole nother element within your career as a hairstylist, catering to curly hair textures with or without extensions. All right, we're about to wrap this up. Do you guys have anything else that you want to say?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Chloe, do you have anything?
I think you guys hit on everything. That was pretty good.
Jackie?
I agree.
You guys, I agree. I'm trying to put in this hair and talk and smile and do all the things. All right, so that's our conversation today on how people travel very far and how word of mouth really can expand your business as a curly hair specialist. Obviously, the internet and social media even more. So this is Adored Salon in working mode here, installing my hair extensions. Now, if you don't already like and follow the Curly Girls Obsessions, please do. It helps us grow. And we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.